We lived so far back in the woods. Couldn't get mail back in there. Had to swing it in on Grapevine. Long way back there. We got stuck in the wagon moving over. Sure enough, the wagon fell in down there, and all my brothers, there was 11 of us in the family, but 2 of them had done married off. And my brothers all got out and got a hold of the wheel, that wagon, spokes, and one kept a stayed on that mule, had a load of furniture, bed, everything we had nearly on that wagon. And my daddy was on the wagon, and brothers all got off and got a hold of them wheels and a hold of a spoke apiece, you know, and he hauled them mules, and they got them spokes, and they got it out of there. They got stuck in the wagon, boy, that's terrible. We moved in that old house up there. Woo. We was poor folks. I mean, showing up poor.
What was it like growing up?
Well, we didn't have to worry about no flies or rats. They all left home. Wasn't nothing to eat. They had more sense than we did. They left that, boy. It was bad. I tell you, we had cornbread for breakfast 3 times a day. We had cornbread and gravy. We didn't have no flour. We made cornbread meal, gravy. Cornmeal gravy for breakfast. Yeah, we raised everything we eat, you know, and we made it good. We got by. Well, I was 6 years old and she was 4. We were, the old man lived back through the woods about a half mile from us. The old cow would always come over to our barn every night. We'd have to run it home. So that evening, that man, he raised strawberries. He had a lot of strawberries. And me and Elizabeth, my sister, we gonna run the cow home. We told them what we was gonna do, you know, so it's all right. We run the cow home. But the old cow was bad about butting you. So we got over there, got the cow over to that man's house, and he fed her, and we went down and got strawberries. Well, we sat there and ate strawberries, and we loved them. Well, we stayed over there a little bit too long. It kind of got dark on us. So that man told us not to go back through the pasture because that old cow might hook us to go around the old sawmill road. Like you know, I've been around it before, but it done got dark, and we got down in them woods, and that hollow dark. We was holding hands, and we didn't turn where we were supposed to, and we just kept going. Following no road, and we went way back over there. We didn't know where we was at. We was dragging the grass down in that thing, holding hands. We finally come up on an old house over there. Black man and wife lived in it. And it was an old two-bedroom house, two-room house, kitchen and a bedroom, and had a hall in the middle of it. Well, we went up to it, and they figured out we must have been lost or something, so they tried to give us something to eat. They was eating cornbread, and they looked like about 13 dogs laying in the hall, fought dogs. And so they finally gave us a piece of cornbread, and we sat there and nibbled on a little bit, and we about half crying. And we heard that black fella heard my brother and them calling us. And that fella walked outside and hollered, "Come on over here." You could hear him a mile or more. I never heard nobody holler so loud in my life. A few minutes, my brothers come up, 2 of my brothers. One put my sister on his back, and the other put me on his back, and they took us home. Got home, and my other brother and sister next to us, he was in there washing dishes, just bawling, man. They was crying like this. And they had green fried tomatoes that night. I won't never get that. And they were good.
They thought you were long gone?
Yeah, they was about to get the sheriff, you know, and get people out hunting us. They didn't know where we was at. But we went up to that black fella's house, and they was real nice and kept us in. Oh, the old house we lived in when I was a young boy, it didn't have no ceiling in the top of it. no loft ceiling, just had top on it, tin top. Well, when it rained, you could sleep like a log, that thing. But we lived in that thing, didn't have no windows, had shutters on it. And me and my brother, 6 years older than me, everything he done, I done the same thing. Every summer we had to pull new straw and put in our bed. We slept on straw mattresses. We pulled the straw and packed that mattress good after they washed the mattress. We called them the ticks, old master ticks. And they'd wash them good, boil them in the wash pot. And we got new straw and packed that thing. We packed that thing, boy, we had a good bed. We got in that thing at night, and it was hot. Ooh, it was late in the summer, but it was a hot night. And we'd lay in there, and like I say, we could sleep with doors open then, you know, and didn't have windows. We had those shutters on the window, had them wide open. My brother said, "All right, let's get up and run around the house time or two and cool off." I said, "Okay, let's go." We went out the window. We jumped out the window. Of course, back then we slept like we was born, you know. And we went around that house 3 or 4 times and run, jump back in the bed. And they've always told us we were brought up, you know, if we done anything wrong, the boogeyman get us. Well, the time we got back in that bed and laid down a little bit, you think it's hot. It was hot, man. It was hot then. We were about to melt, we were sweating. And about that time, something hit the top of that house. Oh, man, it made a racket. I could just see that boogeyman coming through that roof with that pitchfork at me. Man, we covered our head up. You know, back there, if you cover your head up, nothing could get you, you know. Well, we finally went off to sleep, and our kitchen was offset in the house a little piece. Had a little dog house to go out to it. And we got up next morning, me and brother went down to the kitchen. They was all sitting around the table on benches. We didn't have chairs, we had benches around it. And we sat down, and one of my brothers said, "Y'all hear that old owl hit the top of the house last night, tried to light on that tin?" I looked at my brother, and he looked at me. We didn't say nothing. But I guarantee you one thing, that stopped our streaking. We never did do no more streaking then. It scared us to death. My mother died when I was 3 years old. And my sister was 1 year old.
What was her full name and your mother?
Josie Estelle Oates Harmon. Anyway, we
How'd
lived.
she die?
She had a stroke. She's 38 years old and done had 11 young'uns. You can figure out why she had a stroke. My dad's bleeding, replenishing the earth. He did too. Back then, everybody had a big family. Had to raise your own help, see. Farmers, we were sharecroppers. You had to raise them help. You had to have help on the farm. Well, I started planting corn when I was 6 years old. 7, I run a corn planter. And we lived back over there. We had to walk to school through there. We had an old creek down there. It rained. That thing get out of banks. Had to cross it on a foot log. I couldn't walk that thing. I never could walk a foot log. I'd fall off of it every time. I'd get down on it and slide across on it. It's in the water, sliding, and be soaking wet and get on the other side. Couldn't go back home. I would go back home and get a whooping. Had to go on to school. We had a big old pot-belly stove in the middle of that schoolroom, and a big old tall room, and it had one side of it solid windows. You could pull that thing down from the top or raise them up. It had ropes on them, you know. And I was the biggest one in the class, and I had to tote coal in. We had to call them scuttles, old big thing you tote coal in. Somebody come through and start a fire early every morning. And we get there, wouldn't be no coal there. They done put it all in there, so I'd have to go get coal. We all caught the itch in school. Yeah, and they put sulfur and lard on us at home, you know. You wear it about 24 hours and it'll cure the itch. And sulfur and lard to cure it. Well, we had to go to school next morning. We put on our clothes and went on to school. And I had to fire up that old heater. It was real hot. It cold. It was raining too, drizzling rain like the day was a while ago. And it was cool, and I get that old, put the coal in that old heater and got that pipe red hot on that thing, boy. It was warming up. And that teacher walking around cracking them windows, I thought she was crazy because we were freezing. I come find out we wasn't the only one had something lard on it. All of them had it on, and they got around that heater and that stuff got hot and started stinking. Boy, it was putting out a scent. And that sulfur got stinking. Whoo! And that teacher, she was trying to get some fresh air. Man, it was bad, I'm telling you. But it cured the itch. Yeah, we had a little fat girl sitting in front of him, and then old seats we had, old desks we had, they have a crack. You could turn the seat up, you know. Every time you get out, you had to turn your seat up, and it'd leave a crack about a ½ inch opening in the back of it. And I was sitting behind this little girl, and I got me a straight pin and stuck it in the end of my shoe, and I'd stick it up through that crack and stick it, she'd holler, and I'd be just working her. She said, teacher, she'd bust my head, boy. She'd hit me so hard sometimes. When she found out I was doing it, I'd stick that pin to that crack. Yeah.
Is that the one that you dated and tried to date when you were 5th grade?
Teacher?
Yeah.
No, I had so many teachers, you know. We had, they'd have 2 classes in each room, you know, like 1st and 2nd, and 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th. Well, I never did. I stayed the same grade every year 2 times. I'd keep the same teacher for 4 or 5 years, you know. Well, and I got up in 5th grade. Man, I was big enough to date a teacher. Shoot, man. I was about to fall in love with that teacher. I graduated out of the 4th, went to the 5th. Boy, they thought I was something. Graduated in 4th grade. Yeah. And I was about, I don't know. I stayed 2 years in every grade. I was getting on up in the age. They thought so much of me, you know, they gave me a new name. Name me the flower of the family. Yeah, the blooming elet. Yeah, boy, I was smart. Yeah, we had no big bully boy. He was about 7 foot tall and weighed about 200 pounds. He could throw a ball hard enough, a basketball hard enough to kill you. And every time we'd play scramble around the, you know, for pitching, everybody scrambling for the ball, he'd knock you down something. I bumped into him one day, and he grabbed that ball up and threw it and hit me in the stomach, knocked the breath out of me. I didn't think I'd ever gonna breathe again, but I did. I went home at night, and my brother, he had cut an old .22 rifle down to a little old pistol. Made a pistol out of a single shot. And I got that thing, I said, I'll fix him up. I got me a little short bullet and put in that thing, and I took it to school the next morning and hid it in the rock wall down there just above the ball diamond. Ball court. We played basketball out in the yard then, you know. So I figured, I said, well, if we're going to play ball today and he does me that way today, I'm going to kill him. Well, sure enough, he let me have one. I just didn't do a thing in the world after I got where I could walk good. I walked up at that thing, got that pistol, come down there, stuck it right in his face. Said, you hit me the last time. And the crazy thing snapped on me. Didn't shoot. So by that time, they done hollering for the teachers. And the principal come down there and took my pistol away from me, told me he's going to put it in his desk, and told me the last day of school I come by there and get it, take it home.
So the pistol just didn't go off?
Huh? It snapped. It didn't go off.
Did you pull the trigger?
Yes, sir, I pulled the trigger. I meant to kill him. It snapped on me. The old thing didn't shoot every time. The old plunger was bad at it. Boy, that thing, well, the good Lord kept me from killing him. If I'd killed that fellow, I'd still have been penitentiary probably. But he didn't fool me no more.